Hey everyone, thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming back to my channel as we move through this series on transitioning from religion to spirituality. And so we are in part six of talking about the different phases that you can go through as you have are making this transition or you have already done, you are in your spiritual practice now. But please understand that these phases, it's not here's phase one you go through, phase two, phase three. They can be intertwined and they can come back up at any time. Okay, so it's not static. Do you understand what I'm saying? So in this video, I want to bring back up the phase of the information and knowledge. So I want to focus this time on avoiding information overload, which is why in part five, the first thing that I said was when you are hungry for new information, not necessarily more, but new information, or, tapping into things that you have always been interested in, but never dared to research or even explore because your religion said it was wrong to do so, or, the list can go on and on. All right. And I said this at the top of part five. I said, if you simply ask yourself or say this to yourself out loud, I am being guided to the information that is going to serve me in my spirituality in the best way possible. When you say that out loud, be ready for the synchronicities. Be ready to be, I don't want to say pulled because pull almost sounds like a force, but you are literally going to be called and guided to certain things, or perhaps to read certain books, or information is going to be presented to you. It's not going to be something that you have to dig for. It is going to be a natural progression through the information. Okay, so that you can trust. That's first and foremost. That will also stop you from falling into the trap of information overload. What do I mean by that? Information overload is just taking in a bunch of stuff because you feel like you have to, because you feel like this taking a bunch of information is a part of spirituality. No, it is not. Part of spirituality is allowing yourself to take in the information that you are being called to take in and applying that knowledge to your life. Applying the knowledge to your life. You can only have so much information. Then you have to start applying. Okay? Now, when it comes to that, and I want to emphasize that, again, the information is not going to be something that you have to dig and dig and dig for. It's not going to be hard. Let the information come to you, okay? So, what will happen is you've got these synchronicities. 9 times out of 10, the information that comes to you is going to be regarding practices or aspects of spirituality that you've already been interested in before, okay? Sometime I will tell you this, the way that the information will come to you, it's not going to always follow logic. It's not going to always make sense. But your soul, if this is where your intuition comes in, okay? This it this is where intuition comes in. This is where meditation comes in. Okay? Cuz meditation will get you grounded to go within, to listen to your body, to feel into your body, because that's where your intuition lies, to tell you, okay, this is the information that you need at this point in your life. And also knowing, too, that as you start to integrate the knowledge into your life, also knowing that whatever spiritual practice that you decide to undertake, you can change that, because spirituality is not a destination, whereas religion says this is it, there's nothing else, one and done. Spirituality is not that way. We evolve as people, and so our spirituality will evolve. So let's say, for example, you read a certain book about a certain practice, and at the time, you're interested in it, it's exciting to you, and you may be thinking, this sounds like something that is aligned with my soul and with my vision. It's okay to say, you know what? 2 months down the line, it's okay to say, yes, that book was helpful, and I did grab some very valuable nuggets from that book, but that's really not the direction that I'm going to take. It's okay to do that. Because what I will say is that religion can be, first of all, religion can be a stepping stone to spirituality. Spiritual practices that you may have studied, some you may have even incorporated in your life already, those can be stepping stones to where your soul really wants to reside in. So when it comes to the information and that the knowledge and applying what you have taken into your life so far, is just remembering to be flexible with yourself. It keeps you open to listening to your higher self, to your soul. And it keeps you from being rigid with yourself and with your spirituality. All right. So also, I want to, and I was going to save this for another video, but I'll include this one. I'll include this phase. Because I feel like it ties into actually getting into practicing a certain spiritual practice, and it ties into getting information. So you'll also probably go through a phase of doubt, shame, which really is just a fancy way, a long roundabout way of saying fear. The way to eliminate the fear, to minimize the fear, is getting information. What keeps people bound to religion is because when they see something, when they hear something different about what's considered divine, or when they see someone doing something other than praying or what they think prayer should look like, because they don't have information, then all of a sudden it is dangerous, or it's demonic, or it's not of God. Well, most of the time when religious people say that is because they have no information. The only information that they have is the book that they've been given to say, okay, here's the book for your religion. This is what you read. That's what they only have that. They have no more information. So, I'll say this again. Going back to not being afraid to embark on a new spiritual practice. It shouldn't be, there should be no fear in that. That should be it. To me, it's supposed to be exciting because it's a new way. If we are just going to be confined to a certain way to get to the divine or get to God, that's not growth. That's not growth. That doesn't even make sense. That is not growth. I mean, let's just take nature. Nature tells us we have to evolve. The cosmos, the infinite cosmos tell us that we have to evolve. So our higher selves or, higher being, you mean to tell me that the higher being doesn't want us to evolve as people? I mean, the galaxies that, people are continuously searching the end of galaxies. They're continuously searching if there's more in the galaxies. I mean, that is going to be a continuous search. Well, we evolve the same way. We're just as expansive, but presented in this human form. So there's no way that just one book or one religion or one format says that this is the way you should be all the time, forever and ever. No. So that information that you get, the information that you allow to come into your life. And let me just say this. Some of you may be interested in certain practices that are considered just still taboo to talk about. For example, voodoo or hoodoo. If you talk about those things, people still have, when you say those words, people still have this, oh, wait a minute. Even people who are not part of a religion, who may have a spiritual practice other than voodoo or hoodoo. It's still, so allowing yourself to take in that information for things that's already of interest to you. That's how you remove the fear. All right. So that's it. That's what I wanted to say. Those are the phases. I hope that I'm going to say this. I know that this helped someone, that this was helpful to someone. If you are you know that, this religion that you have been a part of is no longer it for you, and you want to move beyond that. I know that the series helped you. If you have a question for me, if you have any questions for me about this topic, or if there's a phase that you would like for me to expand on, let me know in the comments. And yeah, until next time, cheers.